I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and if you want a $50 device on AT&T and you still want awesome specifications, but you want something a little bit cheaper, the Pantech Discover could be the device for you. It's $50 and available right now at AT&T retail stores and online at AT&T.com. And don't let the price tag fool you. It's $50, but it's got a 1.5 gigahertz dual-core Snapdragon S4 CPU, 4G LTE, a 12.6 megapixel camera, Android 4.0, and more. Stereo speakers, it's $50, it's a good deal, and it's a nice device in AT&T's arsenal. Let's take a look in the full unboxing, but first, special thanks to our partners at Best Buy Mobile for giving us devices like this for use in our One Paw Bandit giveaway game, which we turn around and give to you on the site at instantwin.phonedog.com. When you walk into Best Buy Mobile, you'll walk out working. They'll get your email, your web, your contacts and settings, all that good stuff set up, so when you walk out the door, you're good to go at Best Buy Mobile. Let's unbox it. Pantech Discover, is this the ultimate device to get, or should you spend a little bit more and get the One X Plus or the Galaxy S3? Let's go find out. I've always been pretty impressed with Pantech because you know what? They've got devices that continually get better and the price point stays really competitive for the consumer. This is the Pantech Discover, and if you watch Pantech's kind of evolution across the smartphone realm, you know, they stuck with feature phones for a while, and if you remember all the way back to my videos in 2010 and 2011, they were sticking with the feature phone. Then they moved into the smartphone arena, and now they've got the Pantech Discover, which honestly for specs is a fantastic device all around. Here's the device itself. Spec-wise, you're looking at a 1.5 gigahertz dual-core Snapdragon S4 CPU. You got a 2,100 milliamp hour battery. Here's the AC adapter module and USB cable. So nothing too exciting out of the box. But again, specs are really impressive, keeping in mind that this device is $49.99 at AT&T with a 2-year agreement. Texting and driving, it can wait. Huge supporter of AT&T's It Can Wait campaign. And I encourage you to check out the website. But again, really incredible specs here for what you get for $49.99. It's got, like I said, a 1.5 gigahertz dual-core Snapdragon S4 CPU, a 4.8-inch HD display at 720p. You've got a 2,100 milliamp hour battery, 4G LTE connectivity. You've got stereo speakers on the side, a 12.6 megapixel camera, 1 gigabyte of RAM, and it's pretty light too at 4.76 ounces. And then it also has Android 4.0. So if you have to look at the Achilles heel of this device, it's probably that it has Android 4.0. That's probably the one thing, and it looks like the battery might be dead, so we might have to charge this up just a smidge and then get it on camera. But you can see here, device all around, a really impressive look and feel. The stereo speakers on the side give it a nice touch, and it's really a well-built device for the money, keeping in mind this is $49.99 on AT&T. Let's go ahead. It looks like the battery is dead. Let's go ahead and plug this in. Boom, here we are, the Pantech Discover, charged up, or at least charged up enough to finish up our unboxing. And you can see I like the design of this device a lot, and keeping in mind this is $49.99 with a 2-year agreement, the specs are pretty decent. You got your volume rocker on the left side, a stereo speaker there as well. Stereo speaker, say that 3 times fast. On the right side, headphone jack up top, power button up top, micro USB charging port down at the bottom, on-screen buttons on this device, and the 2,100 milliamp hour battery in the back. If you're looking at one Achilles heel on this device in comparison to something like the One X, the Galaxy S3, or the Note 2, or the countless other devices on AT&T, it is that it's running Android 4.0. That's the one downside, and perhaps Pantech's user interface, you may love it, you may hate it, but I actually find it to be relatively useful. And again, keeping in mind the price point and the target of this device, I see this device for a lot of different people. I see it for somebody that wants some great features but doesn't want to break the bank. I see it for a first-time smartphone buyer, and Pantech is continuing along with their user experience. As we go in here, you can see easy experience or standard experience. If you're a first-time smartphone owner, you can customize it to where it's an easy experience, and it looks a lot like a feature phone. So while you're getting used to that Android look and feel, you can take advantage of that. Also, code scanner, family map, drive mode, locker, all the usual AT&T applications out of the box. You've got Chrome pre-installed, and you've got Google integration, of course, device help, my AT&T, MOG Music, and kind of a Pantech look and feel here with apps up here, and you can do a separate folder as well. We can make it new group, and I can bring in applications as I see fit into this new group and then switch back and forth between my standard apps folder and new groups. I've got my on-screen buttons here, back, home, recent applications, and a menu button right over there on the right, and then again, 3 home screens here which you can expand out to 7 if you see fit, just by hitting add panel a couple of different times. I can move my home screen right down there in the middle so it's there and customizable. Now this is something I actually kind of like. Actually, I like it a lot. You look down here at the applications drawer area, you can see all your customized shortcuts. Of course you can move this stuff around as you see fit if you want messages down there, for example, but I love this. Shortcuts and folders, so I can put web down here, I can put AT&T down here if I want to, and instead of just having 4 and being stuck at 4 like most Android devices, I can scroll back and forth and have more in one area. So you know what, if phone, email, messages, and camera, I use those on a regular basis, but I also use AT&T. All I have to do is swipe over and get to web or get to AT&T, and it'll open up the folder right away. So as you can see, a nice fast device. The experience is pretty good. If you can get past Pantech's user interface, you know, let's say you're an HTC fan or a Samsung fan or a Motorola fan, if you can get past the fact that, you know what, their user interface isn't quite as mature as some of the others on the market, I think it's a great device for the money. Again, same thing with quick settings here, really giving you the ability to expand out and have more than just 5. You can scroll back and forth, and of course your notifications bar, pretty similar across the board there. Wireless and networks, device, as you can see, with display, personal, system, and more. Then I can go into messages and we can see what that looks like. Now out of the box you get a couple of different keyboards. You get Swift Key for Pantech, you get Google Voice Typing, and of course a stock Android keyboard as well. You can see it's been customized obviously with the white text, or the white boxes I should say, to make it look a lot like Pantech's look and feel. Actually, you know what, not hey there. Let's say the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy phone dog. Pegon dog. Phone dog. And I can't type today. Phone dog. Still can't type today. Fine dog. You get the idea. Easy to type on. 4.8-inch display is relatively large. If you're thinking Galaxy S3, this could be a good device for you. 4.8 HD display here. Portrait to landscape, nice and fast, but again, the one Achilles heel is that it's running Android 4.0, and given Pantech's upgrade history, you're probably not going to see 4.1 anytime soon. Although I will say, when I met with them at Consumer Electronics Show, they did say that they were open and wanted to expand this out to Android 4.1. So who knows, now that they're expanding into higher end smartphones, it could be a field they're more interested in. Keep in mind, you know, they haven't really done a whole lot of smartphones before, and I think for the demographic they were targeting before, it was less of a priority. Hopefully now that they're targeting these kind of high-end users, the geeks, the nerds, the people that want high-end specs, it could be, or we could rather, see that happen on a device like this. So again, same kind of setting here. Go in here and you got some shortcuts to Facebook, like, share, popular, and news, and again a nice tab system up top, and again portrait to landscape transition. Nice and fast on this device. So all in all, I think for the money, it's a good device. Stay tuned for the full review on PhoneDog.com of the Pantech Discover. I think for $50, you're getting a killer spec list. Again, Android 4.0, maybe an Achilles heel, may not be. $50, getting stereo speakers, getting a 12.6 megapixel camera, getting a 2,100 milliamp hour battery, 4G LTE. Not a bad bang for the buck by any stretch of the imagination. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/PhoneDog. Hit me up on Twitter at PhoneDog_Aaron and let me know what you think of the Pantech Discover. Can it compete? Would you rather have a 1VX, maybe an Ative Odyssey? Let me know. PhoneDog_Aaron on Twitter, Facebook, facebook.com/HiAaronBaker, and then of course the company's page is facebook.com/PhoneDog. I'll be back in a couple of days with a full review. In the meantime, stay tuned, hit me up with your questions, and as always, we'll see you next time.